We are back on the job, our On the Job podcast, our first one of the new year. And this episode, we have Melanie Legge from Annese Electric.
Thanks
Welcome,
for
Mel.
having me, Lou. This is great. So exciting.
Yeah, we're psyched to have you, Mel. Been waiting, we've been trying to put it together for a little while to get you on. So welcome. And wanted to just talk a little bit about, obviously you're a newer contractor to Local 103, longtime electrical contractor.
Right.
Really been in the public sector almost forever. Just want to talk a little bit about Annese Electric, the history of your shop, and how you guys came to get here. So kind of easy, light conversation just about the company and about how it came to be with Annese Electric and Local 103, and just how happy we are to have you guys.
Great. Well, we're happy to be here, too. I can't believe it's been almost 4 years. May 1st will be 4 years.
Holy crap, yeah.
Yeah, time flies.
Sure does. Sure does.
When you're keeping busy, that's for sure.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how has that transaction been?
It's been great. We were very hesitant in the beginning. I had a lot of meetings with you and a lot of other union representatives.
Yep.
And but at the end of the day, it comes down to trust, and we trusted in you.
Yeah.
And trusted in the union and NECA, and all the promises and partnerships have come to fruition. And you trust us, we trust you as a contractor. And if we need something, we ask, and we hope you do the same for us. And it's that's the basis of our great relationship is trust.
That's right. That's the basis of every great relationship, whether it's a husband and wife, or contractor to union, or or employer to employee as well.
Right.
It's having trust and going forward, and that's how you build strong relationships. And
Absolutely.
I feel like this is one of the strongest that we have is our relationship with Annese Electric, given your background, given the history. And I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that. I mean, you guys were a non-union electrical contractor for 35 years before you came to Local
That's
103,
right.
and very, very successful one at that.
Yep, absolutely.
And talk a little bit about that, about your. I know your parents started the company and built a great company, very respectful company, and done a great job in the electrical industry, certainly the public sector. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so starting back to, my dad, Joe Annese, became an electrician. He started his apprenticeship at Interstate, actually.
Yeah,
I was reminded about that last night. 71 to 74, became a journeyman. Went to Trudell Electric, all working non-union,
Sure.
and then ended up at Ryan Electric, and that's where he started as a journeyman, and his career just flourished there. He was quickly promoted to PM and then vice president, and he was, honestly killing it at that company, and running that company. Moved his family, to Situate, and we were doing great. Young kids, 2 young girls.
Yeah.
And he just decided, this isn't for me. I don't want to work for someone else. I can do this for myself.
Yeah.
So in 1988, with 2 young girls, he started Annese Electric on our kitchen table.
Yeah.
The sun porch was converted to an office where my mom was taking classes, learning how to be taking classes in finance and office management, and trying to, just winging it.
How to run a company.
Figuring it out. How to run a company. And, he thought he could do it. But, as anything, just because you're a great journeyman doesn't mean you're going to be a great business owner, right? So a huge leap of faith on his part to start Annese Electric. Myself, himself, my mom, and my uncle was the electrician in the field, and there was 3 of them. November 1st, 1988, and from there he just grew the business. He learned the public side from Ryan Electric, prevailing wage and public work. He didn't know anything about that. Working for Interstate at the time, they weren't doing that type of thing. And he found his market, and he said, this is what we're doing. And he jumped in 2 feet, and it's been great ever since. He grew the business year over year, and was always trying to get me to come in, but I was trying to carve my own way, but here I am. I've been running the business for 13 years, in the business for 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, very impressive. I mean, great story how they built that business to what it's become. But like every small business, it starts at someone's kitchen table, right?
100%.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool to see that, you guys are no different than any other business, and that's how
different.
Most of our contractor base, just about every single one of them started at a kitchen table, started working for somebody else. Every one of them went through an apprenticeship, worked for somebody else, and decided that they could probably wing it on their own. And
right, and it's not for everyone. I mean, not everyone can succeed at that, starting their own business.
Right.
But you know, he had determination and drive and took that leap of faith, and it worked out, moving from the kitchen table to the garage out back to the first building in Weymouth, and now our second building in Weymouth. We've been in for about 15 years, I think.
Yeah, wow.
Much bigger warehouse space. Now we have a second warehouse space down the street, and we just keep growing and growing, and
That's great.
and it's been great.
Yeah. Nobody likes to talk about the risk that it takes.
It's a huge
to
risk.
become a contractor, union or non-union, just a business owner in general. Nobody talks about the risk, but there is a lot of risk.
A
and
lot
there's
of risk
put on the table. Yep.
Right. My dad always talked about, you know, we play the stock market every day. He said, I don't gamble. I don't go to Vegas because we gamble every day. When you put 2 feet on the ground in the morning and you go to work and you're an electrical contractor, you know, you hope all your jobs are good, right? That's why you play the stock market. You have good jobs, bad jobs. You just hope all your good jobs outweigh the bad, and you just put your best foot forward every day.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a risky business, and it's not for everyone.
And you basically you're betting on yourself, right?
100%.
You're betting on yourself, and you're betting on the people that you trust the most, your partners and your employees.
Right, going back to that trust factor.
Right, and it's worked out for Annese. 35 years. A lot of respect for your dad. I know people in the seat that I'm in now been looking at Annese Electric for 30, 35 years to say, hey, we'd love to get them on our team. And it never really happened that way.
It was never the right time.
Yeah.
And when we were approached, we approached you and you approached us, it was kind of a marriage on both sides. It was the right time. And I was running the business at that time for about 10 years, 9 years. And every decision I've made, my dad's backed me 100%, which has been a huge key to our success and the second generation of Annese Electric. But this was a tough one.
Yeah.
I had to sit him down and say, Mike Reynolds, my partner, and I sat him down and said, we need to have a discussion. It's like, oh, I wonder what they're going to say. So, and I said, you know, I think we're going to take the company union. Yeah. And I, you know, said a few prayers in my head, and how is he going to react to this? Joe Annese, non-union contractor for 35 years, right? He just looked at me and said, I don't know why you wouldn't.
Really?
And I was floored, and I knew, again, I had that support. You know, it wasn't an easy decision to make. Talk about risky. Yeah. Taking 60 employees that are non-union and hoping they all sign in with Local 103, right? That's a huge risk that we took. And they all did it. They all did it because of the relationship we have with them, the trust they have in us as leaders. And but to get that feedback from my father to say, I don't know why you wouldn't. Yeah. You know.
I remember a couple of meetings, obviously had some discussions with you and with your partner Mike. And there was 2 meetings that were going to be make or break in doing this. One was the first meeting we had with your dad. And the other one was the other meeting we had with all your employees. Right. And the buy-in and how that was going to go. And I really felt from the get-go, I've had lots of meetings with lots of non-union contractors, and a lot of them are feeling each other out, and we had that as well. But really felt I really felt the bond and the trust when we were meeting with you and with Mike Reynolds. And then some of the questions when we met and had lunch with your dad that day, I really felt that this thing was going to work and it was going to be successful. By some of the thoughtful questions that he had about the union and why we wanted to sign Annese Electric, and some of the conversations back and forth, and then the buy-in that you guys had with your employees to say this is good for Annese Electric and it's good for our employees, you guys. Right. And they believed in you, and they believed in your decision making. They known the company has been a successful company for 30 years, and you wouldn't steer them the right way. And they were, all of them, just there was no hesitation. Everybody was on board, and
everyone was on board. And that process in itself too was very thoughtful on our part as well, because we first brought our project managers in. Yep. And it was very quiet, and they were all on board. And then we brought in the general foreman, and we said, you guys need to be our cheerleaders. We're doing this for your continued employment and your continued success, not just ours. Yeah. We want this company to run for another 38 years. And that's why we're doing it, to help us grow and maybe go into different markets and to keep all of you employed. Yeah. And so they bought in right away, and just because we sold it pretty well to say, this is for your family and for my family. It's for all of us. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And it showed that you guys were thoughtful, because there wasn't one person that said, this isn't for me. And,
right.
if there were those conversations might have been had on the side with you and some of the employees that had questions, which is natural and
Right.
expected.
There was only two that said
Yeah.
it wasn't for me, and they were just the people that were never going to go union. But the fact that we took 60 with us,
Yeah.
and some of them being in their 60s.
Yeah.
And I remember one in particular, one of our first employees who's still one of our top general foremen. And he said, I can't believe you're bringing this to me, Mel, but if you think this is what we should do, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And that to have a general foreman in their mid-60s
Yeah.
come union with you at that time speaks volumes to how much they trust in the company.
Sure. So organizing has always been at the heart of the IBEW. I've been a member 35 years.
Wow.
I've been a member from first year apprentice to where I am today. And I don't recall a time ever in that 35 years or the prior 20 years where we've signed up a non-union contractor with the expertise and the history and the size that Annese is. I think, 60 field employees plus the office staff and everybody else that came in,
Right.
the leadership team, over 60, closer to 80 people that are part of the IBEW 103 family. That's the biggest contractor I think that we've ever signed.
Wow.
And that is really a testament to you guys and a testament to the teamwork and what we've been able to accomplish together.
Yeah,
so far.
definitely the teamwork and the trust on both sides.
Yeah,
That everyone thinks, oh, you're going to join the union. They want your guys. That's the non-union mindset.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you take our guys, we're out of business,
Right.
guys and girls, right? Like
Right.
we're a partnership. We want to succeed together.
Sure.
And that's what we've done, and we've grown the business with your support and support from Nika. And like you said, not just the 103 electricians that came to the union. It's been our whole company. It's been a buy-in.
Yeah.
I mean, from being on the board of the JATC and being involved at Nika, I had a training yesterday at Nika with 12 of my project managers going through some training to get schooled in the next
That's right.
piece of technology for us that will only enhance our business. I mean, we didn't have support before.
Yeah.
And now we have support from the hall and from Nika,
Of course.
which is amazing.
It's like anything. If you're not in 100%, then you're not going to get 100% back.
Right.
It's you get what you
Absolutely.
give, really. But that trust and that buy-in, I mean, that obviously wasn't always there with Annese Electric, right?
No, it was
I mean, I
not.
remember we've had conversations. You guys would drive by and, the God, no, never, and
Yep.
middle
Yep.
fingers and
Look at that billboard.
yeah, right. Yeah, talk a little bit about that upbringing and how Annese Electric was really staunchly non-union contractor, independently run, didn't need the union. Talk a little bit about that and how you guys got to where we are today, one of the most successful union contractors that we have.
Mm-hmm. Well, from the beginning, it was always non-union. That's what my father believed in. It was a non-union shop, and we had the best of the best. We were growing. He was growing the business slowly, but we got to a point where we're hitting the same revenue every year, the same employees every year. It's really difficult to find a good electrician when you're in the non-union field to hire.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of stuck in that, oh, we're a great company, but this is what we are. We can't grow. We can't change. We have our people. The big fear is how are we going to get new apprentices? That was a huge fear of mine once I started to run the company, because I'm looking at the next 30 years, right? And we have to replace this talent. That's amazing, but how are we going to do that on our own? And so we were doing great just, in that steady business that we were doing in public market. We couldn't do anything else. We'd stay away from Boston because we didn't want to get in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And we would just stay in our lane. And that's what we were told. Just stay in your lane, do your thing, do your schools, do your, wastewater, police, all that stuff. But, it's frustrating when you can't grow the business and you know that you are loved in the business. I mean, our relationships are everything.
Right.
But we can't go bid that school because our field staff is tied up for 2 years.
Right.
So we're just stuck. And we can't bid, we can't grow. We're just, doing the same thing day after day. And so to join the union allowed us to be able to say, well, we can take on that next school. We can divide up this crew and hopefully get qualified people from the hall, which we have. It's been amazing. We've been able to grow the business and get into different markets. It's been unbelievable.
Yeah, that's great. And that's like really what we sell, qualified manpower, men and women, apprentices, the journey level of people that can step in a role and join a crew and be productive.
Yeah,
right?
And I think that's something that has to be highlighted, because in the non-union world, people think the stigma is, union contractors, union electricians don't work as hard as non-union electricians.
Right.
That is absolutely not the
Right,
case. And
right.
we have found some great people from the hall that we will hold on to
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
until
yeah.
we can. I mean, we want to keep bringing in new people and growing the business. And everyone we brought in, and we have some bad apples from now and then, non-union
Yeah.
or union.
Yeah, right.
But the majority, I would say 95% of the people we brought in have been amazing.
Yeah,
And our non-union, who are now union,
Yeah.
general foremen say, don't let this one go.
right.
So,
great,
I
yeah.
mean, everyone from the hall has been amazing and supporting us and
Yeah.
buy into our company and
Sure.
our culture. And,
Yeah.
they want to be a company guy. That's
Yeah.
what they say. They want to be a company guy.
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes to us.
Yeah, that's one thing our members have really bought into. They've bought into the organizing. They want the ability to have new contractors to go work for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all know, our members, right up to the leadership, your success, the contractor's success equates to our success. If the
100%.
contractors have no work, then we have no work. We're out of business if you guys
Right.
are out of business.
Right.
So if you guys are being successful, winning more jobs, that means more opportunities for us, more
Right.
opportunities to grow, more opportunities to work, make money for your family. That's what it's all
It
about.
truly is a partnership.
Yeah, 100%. Which is really, it's really great to hear it from someone that was on the other side for so long to come and say, "Geez," and we hear it. Okay, we hear it a lot. Wish I'd done this sooner.
Yeah, I've said that a few times. You know,
Yeah,
if you could change one thing, what would it be? I wish I did it sooner. But I do feel everything happens for a reason. Our timing was
course.
right when we did that.
Yeah.
Our timing was right. It was time to grow. It was time to change.
Yeah,
Really push our WBE status, which we were never able to do in the public side before.
right.
Because unless you're low bidder, no one really cares
Right.
in the public market.
That's
So
right.
now we're really able to highlight ourselves as a WBE and utilize that because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure we're the largest WBE electrical contractor in the state.
Yeah,
Which is pretty significant, and it does bring in some work for
Yeah.
us that we weren't able to capture before.
yeah, and
That's great.
it is great. I mean, being a public sector contractor, not just a public sector contractor. You guys are a bona fide, legit public sector contractor. You can really handle any type of job that comes down, any size job, from a small, town hall renovation or a police station to a major high school or
Yep.
any type of public project like that. You guys have got several of them. You've always done that work, and you've gotten several since you've become a union contractor.
We have.
Yeah, yeah, with the help of the union, with the partnership.
Yep,
We need you as
absolutely.
much as you need us, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And another reason that really pushed us forward to join the union is, you don't have a lot of representation in the public market.
Right.
And we saw that as a really good diversification for you as
Yep.
well as for us to be able to bring a contractor like us to help
Yeah.
you gain that work as well.
So going on almost 4 years now, I think the first job that you guys got as a union contractor was the Quincy Public Safety
It was.
Building. Is that right?
Yeah, the timing of that was impeccable because I think we were in the union hall with all of our employees asking them, actually not asking them to join, but they were all joining.
Yep.
They're being sworn in.
Yep.
That's what it was.
Yep.
They're being sworn in, and that day we won that job.
Yeah.
So it was like we told you this is what was going to happen. We
Yeah.
were going to have this partnership, and honestly, we weren't going to bid that job because we stay away from Quincy.
Yeah.
That's a union city, and
Yeah.
from a non-union world, that's a union city, and we stay where we're wanted, right? And
yeah.
we don't want to ruffle any feathers. So the fact to be working in Quincy, and that was one of our largest jobs of all time at that point.
Yeah.
And we scrambled to bid that job, and we got that job, and we're just finishing up now. There's
Yeah.
like 3 more weeks left.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So 4 years later.
4 years later.
Yeah. Still, that job is, that's great. So I believe and I hope it's been a successful job for
It
you
has
guys.
been. It has been.
Oh, good.
And
good.
we've made some really great relationships in the city of Quincy.
Yeah.
Thanks to your help and just working there for 4 years.
Yeah.
It comes only natural, and now we're doing the new Quantum School in Quincy.
That's
that
right.
will start
Yeah. That's
in
most
2
recent.
months.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll start in March. So.
Yeah, the mayor and the elected officials in Quincy, Mayor Koch, they've been great friends to this organization.
Mm-hmm.
They see the value in union workers and union contractors on their jobs because there's no bullshit, right? There's
Right.
no hidden extras. Here's the low number. We're going to dangle the carrot. We're going
Right.
to dangle in front of your face. And then as soon as you sign, we nail you with all these extras and all these
Change orders.
hidden
and,
fees that you didn't see, change
Yeah,
orders.
exactly.
We know that's
Yep.
kind of how the a lot of the bigger players in the non-union, to go nameless.
Yes, we do.
How they play that game, and it's a dirty game.
Yep.
And you get, what you see is what you get on bid
100%.
day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we're going to be open and honest with you, and we're not going to run up the score or run up the fees on you as this job progresses. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And that's one of our, we have honesty, teamwork results that's on the back
Yeah.
of all our shirts. And honesty is first for a reason, because, you're not going to get any, BS with us.
Right.
I mean, we tell you what it is, and if you don't like it, that's fine, but
Yeah.
we're going to be honest from the beginning, because, going in the back door and doing things a dirty way, it's
That's
not
right.
good for your reputation.
That's right.
And then our reputation is amazing, and we want to keep it that way.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
want people calling us and say, well, we want you to get that job. That's what we want.
Yeah. Annese has always had an impeccable reputation in the electrical industry. We're glad that it's even propelled even further now.
Yeah, it definitely has. We've gotten to know a lot of other players.
Yeah.
Mostly your electrical contractors, that the big guys in Local 103. I mean, we have great relationships with all of them.
Yeah.
Trying to help them satisfy some of their WBE diversity work, and that's been great. New GCs we've gotten to know thanks to all of your introductions, and that part to be able to take advantage of having a great reputation in the private world is great, because in the public world they love us.
Yeah.
But until you're low on the next one,
Right. They don't.
it's not going to do you any good,
That's
right?
right.
So
Yeah.
so having our relationship, yield us more work has been really fruitful for us.
Yeah. Have you seen a good amount of new private work come your way since you become a union contractor?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
We have. We've always had some private clients, but, on the low side, because, anything above a certain
Sure.
dollar amount goes union. So those customers have become better customers,
Oh, yeah.
and that's been great.
Yeah. It always opens up the door. You've been living in the outside of downtown area, and now being a union contractor, get access to more work and more customers. And
Right.
that's always an opportunity to conquer a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of our previous business strategies, which I never really agreed with, but I understood, is we try to fly under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
We're not under the radar anymore.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
everyone
Yeah.
knows who we are. Everyone, oh, wow. We had a conversation with a huge GC the other day. I didn't realize you could do a project like that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we always could, but you
Yeah.
just didn't know it. And now,
Right.
people are starting to talk about it, and we're getting more phone calls, and that's great.
Yeah. And I know it's been 4 years now. I can't believe it. Feels like it's only been, we just did last year. We did
I
this.
know.
But I still get calls like, oh, Annese, I didn't realize they signed with you guys. I'm like, yeah, that's, one of our biggest not acquisitions, but one of our biggest signs or mergers or partnerships that we've made. And they're like, that's great to see. We really appreciate that. We love Annese and we love you guys, and don't like to separate. Now we can take our work.
Yeah, we've
the way
had
we wanna
similar
take it.
feedback, which has been great.
Yeah.
It's been great for
Yeah.
us.
So, I mean, not only on the union side, some contractors take their company union and they just leave it like that, and they kind of keep an arm's length from the union hall or from the Contractors Association, still unsure. But that hasn't been the case with Annese.
No.
You guys are all involved with NECA, heavily, on the board. You sit on a few committees together.
We
whether
do.
it's- I mean, how's that been? You've been open. You've been welcomed with open arms from the Contractors
From
Association
everyone.
themselves.
And I think, part of it is being second generation company. I think the arms opened a lot faster than they would have.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who Joe Annese is,
Yeah.
right? And from the first day I walked into the NECA office, I was treated with such respect.
Yeah.
And anything you need, you call me. Any question, you call me. I've
Yeah.
been through it.
Yeah.
Just the support we've had from the contractors has been amazing, apart from the union.
Yeah.
Just really, taking me under the wing and saying, what can we do to help?
Yeah.
Which in the non-union world, we joke. We say our competitors wouldn't tell you if your pants were on fire in the non-union world. But in the union world, we've been embraced by everybody,
Yeah.
which has been great. And like I said in the beginning, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this. We're going to jump in
Yeah.
and get involved, because that's how we run our business.
Yeah.
I mean, we're involved, and we know everybody that works for us, and they trust us, and we trust them. And, I wanted to do it right, not just for myself, but for the company and for the employees, and
Yeah.
show them we're all in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you should be too. And a funny story with that is, and I think I've told you this before, but 2 weeks in, the ink wasn't even dry on my letter of assent that I signed to you. And I'm looking in the parking lot at my office, and I see like 6 103 stickers on the trucks. Well, I guess we did it.
Yeah.
And they bought in right away, just because
Yeah.
if it's coming from leadership,
Right.
and you're in, and you're not hesitating, you're confident that this is where we're going as a company, and we're not going back. This
Right.
is it. This is
Right.
our path.
Right.
And then it's easier buy-in from everybody.
That's right. Because your employees, I mean, they're invested in themselves and their careers, and all of it hinges on the company and what
Right.
you guys are providing them for work. And it's easy to be bought in if leadership is saying this is good for the company and it's good for the future of your employment and the future of our company.
Right.
It's an easy buy-in.
It's
You
an
know what I
easy
mean?
buy-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to being caught in the middle, where we find ourselves a lot when we organize. The management and leadership are not really on board. Some of the workers are, and it's a hard
Yeah, that's a hard
middle to
dance.
find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when it comes from the top, it's much easier and it's much more successful.
Right.
And there's no fighting. We get together. We figure out how to solve problems, things that you do every single day, things that we do every single day of the week.
Right.
Solve problems, collaborate, and get to work.
Right, and that's
know?
been huge for us too. Any problem that we've had, we have
Yeah.
some of the best in the office, but sometimes you need that help for
Yeah,
that
of
bid
course.
protest or whatever it is that comes our way.
Yeah.
And to have that extra support has been,
Yeah.
it's we've been successful because of it.
Yeah, yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, we're glad to be able to provide that assistance that helps you guys. That's less resources, off your plate that we absorb,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps us get you the job and helps us get us on the job. So
Yep, it's great.
that's the key to true partnership, I think.
It really is.
You know.
It really is. Mm-hmm.
Going back to your dad a little bit, I had never met your dad before we started
Oh, really?
our conversations. Never met him. I wasn't really involved in much organizing back when
Back then.
there was conversations about your dad maybe coming in, but always heard great things about Joe Annese and about Annese Electric. Not like some of the other non-union contractors were like, they're no good. They suck. They treat their people shitty, and they're just anti. Joe was just a good businessman. He was well respected. It's all I ever heard. Certainly, like you said, from our contractor base was like, yeah, Joe Annese is a good guy. We golf with him, or we know him from. We frequent the same restaurants, and people that knew him from industry as well.
Right.
We go to some of the same.
Some of the bid openings back in the day.
Yeah, whatever it was, and always was a well-respected guy. Nobody had anything bad to say about Annese Electric or Joe Annese, because he was just such a professional. You know what I mean? And when I really got to meet him, we had lunch that day down the street. It was an honor to meet him, and it was like I was in there with an electrical industry, legend.
He really is.
You know what I mean? It really was like that for me. And just some of the thoughtful questions that he had for me and some of the conversations we had, it just heightened my respect for him and his company, and what he thought about, obviously what he thought about you and the company and its direction was really meant a lot to me. Like, if we're going to do this, like, I love my company. I built this company from day one. And if we're going forward, I'm all for it. And like you said, 100% in. And that's how it's been.
Right.
What he told you was what you got. And
Absolutely. And when we left that meeting, I wasn't sure where he stood. I thought
Yeah.
I did, but we got in the car and he said, "Lou's great. Let's do this." And he
Wow.
shut the door. And that was the end of the conversation. So he has the same respect for you.
yeah, that's awesome.
It's been great.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys have come in. You've conquered the non-union world. You've come to the union sector. You're conquering the union sector. You guys have been even more successful, I
Absolutely,
think,
yeah.
than expected, which is a welcome for both sides.
Right.
What's next to conquer for Annese Electric?
Oh, what's next to conquer? I think we're just plowing down the same path we're on. We're
Yep.
going on our 38th year. I'd like to do 38 more years, not with me, but
Yep.
drive the company in a way that's going to keep us successful, put the right people in place, create that trust. So we have the best office staff, PMs, general foreman, journeyman. Keep that going. Diversify when we can, when it makes sense.
Yep.
Don't just diversify to diversify. That's a lesson we've learned over the past 4 years. But just put ourselves in the best position to ride out the company for the next 40 years. I mean, I want to be involved as long as possible. I love what I do. I love this industry. It's not for the faint of heart, for
No,
sure.
no.
But, if you have the right people in place and you love what you do, and we have a great time
Yep.
doing what we do together. Everyone runs every PM, every estimator, they act like they own the business.
Yeah.
And we just need to keep growing our business in a way that creates trust. Put the right people in the right spots.
Yeah.
Just keep rolling and growing.
Yeah.
Growing at a smart pace.
I know it's an old cliche, and I believe it to be true. So it's not a cliche for me, and I feel it's not a cliche for you. But if you love what you do, you never really work a day in your life, right? I mean,
100%.
that's how I feel in this job. I've always felt that about my role at Local 103, whatever role that was. I love my job. This is not a job. It's really a lifestyle and a career. And I can see it's the same for you
It's the same.
at Annese. You love your job. This is, can't see myself doing anything else.
Nothing
I don't
else.
care,
Yeah, and I wish I didn't hesitate so long to come into it, but I feel like it was the right time. And
Sure.
when you put the right people in place and you have the relationships with your employees,
Yeah.
work is fun.
Yeah.
And even the bad
That's right.
jobs, you put your best foot
Yeah.
forward and you figure out a way. You get creative, and you learn the lessons. You don't do that again.
Yeah. Put good people around you, and those hard tasks aren't that hard anymore.
They're not
You know what I
that
mean?
hard anymore.
They're
Yeah.
just like putting a puzzle together.
And we have great people, and we just want to continue to build that business with great employees and
Yeah.
put them where they need to be, and
Yeah.
just keep having fun with it.
Yeah. Some of the, just shifting a little bit, some of like the public policy stuff that's come out in the last year or two, stuff that we've been working on. You guys have been great advocates and partners with us, certainly from a business sense, having a business voice alongside the union to go in shoulder to shoulder, whether it's the governor's office or a rep's office, to talk about what our priorities are. That's been paramount in our ability to get some of this PLA language.
Yep, I agree. The
know.
relationship that,
Yeah.
103 and NECA has to go into those meetings
Yeah.
together has been
Yeah.
huge for our industry.
Yep. Usually it's labor on one side, management on the other side, and nothing gets done. But when you go in shoulder to shoulder for a combined goal or outcome that you think is good for the industry, people tend to listen more. We told them PLAs are good for labor. They was like, okay, but it's not good for business. But when business came in and said, well, PLAs are good for our business, and we'd like to see that go forward, and we've been successful doing that.
Right.
And now we're going to see some schools come out for PLAs, certainly in the city of Boston, and elsewhere. We're going to see some public PLAs, some bigger ones on some of the state agency stuff, where the public work is you guys' bread and butter. It's your forte.
Absolutely. Yep.
And still competitive, still got to bid it and still got to win it.
Right.
But the bad actors are removed from the equation.
That's right.
And you're bidding apples for apples now
You are.
against equal
And that's
counterparts. And that's a comfortable way to bid.
It absolutely is.
I've heard from yourself and from other contractors like, hey, I'll bid against them all day of the week. I know, where they're at.
Absolutely.
It's those the bad actors over there that cheat and steal and
Right.
come in certainly low and then hit you with a bid afterwards. How do you
Right.
compete with that?
Yep. And the games they played to get to that low number doesn't always get you the quality project that you are looking for.
Yeah, yeah,
And at least with the PLAs, you know what you're going to get from Local 103.
yeah. That's right.
Regardless of who the contractor is, you have a high quality contractor and the best labor to build those projects.
Yeah, yeah. Good.
Yeah, we look forward to those.
Yeah, 100%. That's we love project labor agreements. They're good for the community. They're good for the contractors. They're certainly good for the union.
Absolutely.
Being 2026, what's on you guys' radar as far as work to bid and what's coming up?
There's a
for
lot of
Annese?
there's a lot of public jobs coming up that we will go after. Every one of them that we can. That's within our
Yep.
manpower and the estimating department. We do have a couple private things, percolating right now that we're waiting on. That would be great to add to that. I mean, we really want to diversify and not just do public work, even though that will probably be 80% of our backlog. It usually is, but it's nice to diversify
Sure.
and just keep plugging along. And
Yeah.
like I said today to you, we have to redo 2025 every year. You rip the Band-Aid off, you got to do it again.
Yeah, that's right.
We're 7-8 days in.
Yeah.
We have to do it again.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and have fun doing it.
Yeah, right. So Boston's always been very big on colleges, universities, hospitals, healthcare centers. We're like number one in the world
Yeah,
in
it's
education.
a great place to be.
Number one in the world in hospitals and healthcare. You guys finding your way a little bit in some of those inroads in the city now?
We are, absolutely. We've always had we've dipped our toe in the institutional for private colleges in Boston. Very small scale. Now we're at a much larger scale. And we're getting into the hospital work, which we've never had before because we've never really had the opportunity, and we're getting those opportunities,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah. those,
great.
yeah, the hospitals and the university stuff, that's what built this local union into what it is today, one of the powerhouse local unions in the country, because of that steady stream of
Right.
highly technical work, training apprentices to become electricians and technicians to do the most highly technical work in those hospitals, in
Right.
those colleges.
And there's a lot of that work
Yeah.
coming up.
Yep. Yeah, it's always been our bread and butter. It always will be our bread and butter. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that you guys are seeing the opportunities there as well.
We are,
to
and
grow.
especially with the hospitals, they believe strongly in diversification of the contractors and
Yep.
the workforce,
Yep.
and that for us has been huge, because not only our WBE but our employee base is very diverse,
Yeah.
and so we're able to check all those boxes all
That's
the
right.
way through from
Yep.
ownership down to the apprentices,
Yeah.
which is nice.
That's awesome. You guys got a piece of Mass General?
Yes, we have 2 pieces.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
And
Yeah.
hopefully a third. We'll
Yeah,
see.
and there's more to come. There's
There's
a lot
more
more.
to come.
A lot more at Mass General coming. Dana
Yeah.
Farber's got a big,
Yeah, we hope we'll have some
hospital
opportunity
project
at
coming.
Dana-Farber as well.
yeah,
So we'll
really
see.
nice, really nice hospital stuff. And I think the institutional stuff for the colleges, you guys got some work over at MIT.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just finishing up. We just finished up 2 dorms over at MIT. It's
Awesome.
our largest project to date
Wow.
in 38 years. So,
Wow.
yeah, that's been great.
Yeah. So in 4 years, compared to the former 35 years, you guys have knocked off 2 or 3 of your biggest projects and biggest contracts ever.
Absolutely. We were in the middle of our biggest when we started conversations with you.
Yep.
And that was an $8 million school, and now we're doing $20 million schools.
Whoa.
So
That's
with
great.
with opportunity to keep growing with
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah. That's dynamite. I love it.
Yeah, and we couldn't do that before because we didn't have the labor pool to lean on.
Yeah.
And now we can grow, at a smart pace with the right people and pick the right jobs.
Yeah.
Hopefully, keep going.
Yeah. I love to hear it. So
Yeah.
to 35 or 38 more years of Annese Electric
let's
and Local
hope.
103
Yeah.
crushing the
Yep.
industry. I love it.
Yep.
So good stuff. What else? What else we got?
I don't know.
No.
Just thank you for the partnership. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah.
Everything we could have expected plus more.
Yeah.
I mean, the partnership has been the reason that we have grown.
Yeah.
We've seen 40% growth since we've joined the union, and
Mhm.
we don't want to continue that path for the next 38 years. That's a lot of work, but
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
growing and keep doing what we do and
Yeah.
building.
I think in the past, maybe when your dad was a young journeyman starting his company, the union wasn't good at partnerships. It was like kind of our way or the highway. We'll tell you how it's going to go. And that didn't work out, and that turned good businessmen away from the union, I think. Like your dad maybe, like, hey, I don't want to do it your way. I want to do it my way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's respectable. You can respect that. And
Right.
for the long time, we've seen non-union contractors grow immensely without the union because we weren't offering partnerships.
Right.
Around here, I think we got it about 20 or 25 years ago that we'll offer true partnership, help you grow, help you. We don't want to run your company. I don't want to have anything to do with you
Yeah, that's one of
running
the
your
first
company.
things you said to me.
But yeah, I don't have any desire to run your company, but we want to help you grow because we know that your success is our success.
That's
And
right.
if you're growing from 50 employees to 100, you're going to get those other 50 from us, and we're going to be able to put people to work.
That's right.
And that is as simple as you can put it.
It's
know what I
as
mean?
easy as that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish you told me that 10 years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah,
Lou,
right.
but
Well,
here we are.
Here we are. Right?
Yep.
Yep. No, it's good stuff.
That's right.
Yep. So we value the partnership. We value it going forward. We value that the fact that you guys came here, and we're going to live up to every single promise and every single obligation that we've offered. We put on the table every step of the way.
Well, you already have,
And
so
then
I
some.
appreciate
Good
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Good. Well, Mel, this has been great. This has been an
been a
awesome,
lot of fun.
awesome
Yeah, thanks for
conversation.
having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you came on and continue to work together. And
Absolutely.
much success going forward in 2026 and
Yep.
beyond.
Thank you, Lou.
Awesome.